In today's video, I will talk about the hardest content in Division 2, which currently is the legendary Strongholds. I will give you my best tips how to play them, what the rewards are, what builds / setup you need, and much more. If that sounds interesting, then let's get into the video. So to start it off, I would recommend you to get a group before you go into the legendary, and avoid the matchmaking if possible, because having a group with good communication, teamwork, and roles that synergize with each other is key. Keep in mind that legendary is one of the hardest challenges in the game, so it can be really rough at start, but the more you play them, the easier and better results you will get. If you don't like a challenge, then you don't have to do this. The only thing that's exclusive to the legendaries is the exotic AR called Bighorn, and that one is not even good right now. If you wanna see the Bighorn in action, I will put a link to the video I made in the top comment. And then there's also the white tusk cosmetic apparel, which looks really nice, but it won't make your character stronger. So keep that in mind. If you don't wanna have a challenge, then don't play it, because you're not missing out on anything really. Because you can just farm something else if you don't want to have this challenge. Anyway, so what I would recommend is to play 1 healer, 1 tank, and 2 DPS. Of course you can play it in other ways. Maybe you could play a skill damage build and take like 5 to 6 hours to complete it. But I'm just gonna go through how we did it, and I'm not gonna cover some super cheesy strats like that. So I have made a build video for all the builds that we used in the legendary. They will be in the description or the top pinned comment. But I will talk a little bit about them because some things have changed with the builds, so I will just cover that really quick. So when it comes to the healer build, I would recommend to use the BTSU gloves, because they are extremely good when it comes to crowd control. And it also gives your teammate their skill cooldown back, which can be huge to get your revive hive back, for example. And playing as a DPS player, and you just use the revive hive and then you get the cooldown back, you can play a little bit more aggressive and feel a bit more safe. If you really want to take it easy though, you could wait and make sure that you have overcharge from the gloves ready for every room. Don't open the next door until you have it ready. When it comes to the tank build, I would recommend the new exotic mask over the named holster, so you can give more crit to your team. Then we have the 2 DPS builds. Nothing have really changed there. I have one for LMG and one for rifle. I think I personally would recommend the rifle one, because you do have the shield and it's just a little bit more safe, and the damage output you can do, it's pretty crazy. Then you could also have one player that runs a status effect build. His main purpose would be to just crowd control. I only played with a dedicated status effect build today, and we played 3 DPS and then the status effect build. And that seemed actually really good, but I also think for that strat, you need some really good damage builds. I will have a video covering this in the future though, like how to set it up and how to play it. But for now, I only tested it once I think, and I don't have my build ready yet. So give me some more time on that and I will come back. But that's the build part. And then we come to the communication. You definitely want to have voice chat so you can communicate. Because as I said, teamwork is key, and it's crucial that you all are on the same page, so not one guy, for example, push forward while everybody else backs and all that. So make sure that you can communicate with each other. So when you got the group ready, you have builds with a decent setup, it's time to get into the actual legendary stronghold. Something that I find super important the first time you do a legendary mission is to play very patient and don't be too greedy. Play super safe and take your time. If one in your team goes down, play safe. There is no checkpoint before the boss room, so you want to do everything you can to not wipe. So talking a little bit about the white tusk. So they are basically black tusk, but they are just way smarter. And they will actually sense way more than other AIs. If your team is weak, they will try to take advantage of that and push you. Or if they are feeling threatened by you, they will retreat. And usually they try to do that all together. With that said though, you can use that to your advantage to bait some NPCs to push you and then get some easy kills. I think something I would recommend as well is to keep long range. It's a good strategy, because if you are far away, you will do less damage, but you will also take less damage, which means it's less likely for you to get one-shotted. So having a decent distance and a backup plan to retreat to is always good. Especially when it comes to the minigun tanks, you want to keep range. You want to focus 100% on breaking the minigun chain, because when that happens, he will go down and fix the chain. You also want to focus his backpack, because when the tank comes close, the backpack acts as a stinger hive, making crazy bleed damage. So make sure you get the backpack before they get close. If you have really good DPS, you could ignore that, but still, it doesn't take that much damage to break the backpack, so I would recommend to do that. So keep shooting the Shane, and when he goes down to fix it, you could get rid of some red purples NPCs, or just focus on him, depending on the scenario. I recommend only aiming for the Shane/body and not going for headshots at all when it comes to the tanks, since when you're focusing the Shane, you will hit a lot of body shots as well, so it just makes sense to keep going for the body. So in terms of the NPCs, it's important you guys understand who of them are the biggest threat and priority. The minigun tanks I talked about earlier is definitely number one. The drone operators are super annoying as well, so getting them quick is important, because otherwise you're gonna get drone spammed, and those drones are pretty quick, so yeah, getting rid of those NPCs, it's important. Then we have the healer that have the healing station, and if you don't kill them before they put it out, you have to deal with their healing station, and you can't really kill anything except the red and purples if they are in the station. So ideally you want to kill the healer before he puts it out. If he puts it down though, you can try to bait him out of the station and kill him, and that way the station gets destroyed as well. Then there's also the Grenader NPC that can be super annoying. They spam grenades like crazy on Legendary. And there's also that robot that shoots grenades too. For the rooms with robots though, you can use an EMP grenade or EMP jammer. It works great. So make sure your team knows what you want to focus first, so you all are on the same page and focus the same NPC first, so you don't just focus different NPCs and you manage to kill nothing and now you're getting spammed by drones, they have healing station, and you're getting grenade spam. So really crucial to be on the same page there. Then we have the crowd control. We didn't do much crowd control at all in our first runs, but the more we played, the more we added it into the mix, and it's a game changer. So remember when I said you want to have a healer with the BTSU gloves? I did make a video about that a few days ago, but if you don't know, the BTSU gloves overcharge your full team's skills for 15 seconds with a 2-minute cooldown. It also removes all the skill cooldowns for you and your teammates, so it's great to have to get your revive hive back, for example. And of course it makes the DPS skills go from tier 0 to overcharge, which is insanely good, and that is something you could use for every single room, as long as when you're done with the room, you wait until the cooldown is back on the gloves before hitting the next room. So in terms of the skill we use for crowd control, we usually have both DPS with Gunner Banshee Pulse, or one DPS with Banshee Pulse and one Firefly Blinder drone. Both works great, especially with overcharge. The blinder Firefly gets like 15 targets, so you can basically blind all the NPCs in the room, and Banshee gets a huge range increase and also instant charge speed. One skill that we haven't really used that much though is the Firefly Demolisher. It targets the weak points on the NPCs, so it disables the NPC's special move. For example, the drone operators can't use their drone, the medics can't put out the healing station, and on the minigun tanks it affects the backpack and the Shane. So it should be super useful for legendaries. I guess if you don't like those skills, I could recommend a few more, but those are mainly what we use. But you could use the shock trap, and it should work really good for the smaller rooms. It's like a 15-second shock with the overcharge, I think, and the area it covers is huge. But keep in mind it takes some time before it triggers, so make sure you can cover the full room. I guess a foam chem launcher could be useful as well with overcharge, since it gets a quite big radius. But we don't really use those skills though, but I thought it would be worth mentioning. Then we also have grenades. The healer plays survivalist, so he will get the incendiary grenade, which is amazing. Then we have the DPS on Gunner that gets the foam grenade, which is awesome as well. And if you have a rifle build, he usually plays sharpshooter, so that's a flashbang, which is really useful too. So make sure you use the grenades when you can, and especially when your skills are on cooldown and the effect is gone on the NPCs. And since you have a healer with a survivalist spec, you will also get 10% multiplicative damage increase to NPCs that are on status effect. So that's quite huge. But I think that's it though. Hopefully this one was fine. I had to re-record the full voiceover, so I really hope that the second one was fine, because it was a bit frustrating to re-record this, especially when it's almost 5 AM here. But luckily I did script this video though, because I want to make sure I did not forget anything, but I probably did anyway. If you guys have any questions though, let me know in the comment section below and I can try to help you from there. But I hope you guys did find this video useful, and if you are interested in more Division 2 content, then make sure to hit that subscribe button. If you want to go the extra milestone and support the channel financially, you could become a YouTube member for less than $1, but that's only if you want to. Anyway, thank you guys for watching and see you guys in the next one.